Welcome Facebook and social media viewers. I'm Jackie Howard.
I'm Clint Tennis.
And we are with Zimmerman's Automotive. And we would like to welcome you to our
Revved Up Roundtable, where we'll be discussing car topics from Z to A.
Each month we will be doing a 4-part series on a specific topic. April is Car Care Awareness Month for the spring. So, with that, we would like to do part 1, car care as dash lights.
And we know that they can always seem scary, dangerous, or something you just don't know about. What we'd like to do is just go into the topics of them so that we have more familiarity with it and better understanding too. And what they can be is on those dash lights, such as check engine, oil, maintenance required, ABS, or even the battery light.
So let's go into the first point we have, your check engine light. This light can scare a lot of people. Like Clint. So when that check engine light does come on, what is the best thing to do? Do you continue to drive like another 100 miles or call someone?
Well, when the light is on solid, it's okay to be driving it, but you still need to have it looked at with a service department or a qualified technician that is able to go and detect what the problem is on your vehicle.
Very nice. Anything else to add?
Well, now if the light is flashing, you don't want to keep driving it, because that could mean, one, you have a misfire, which could cause the vehicle to run poorly and could cause damage to other components that can be very costly in the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and the next light is the oil light. Now I know this one can be pesky, but what exactly does it mean?
Well, the oil light just lets you know one of two things. It's going to let you know, one, if the oil level is low, the light will stay on solid and it's going to be red. If it's going to be flashing at you, flashing. If it's flashing at you, that means that you have another issue or a problem going, which will be oil pressure.
Okay, so checking your oil level is quite simple. It's just a matter of finding your oil dipstick underneath the hood and just checking the level, make sure it's within the cross hatches. If you can't figure out how to check your oil level, you can either check in your owner's manual or else you can go to your trusted service facility. If it's flashing, let's kind of explain what happens then, what should happen then.
Well, if you have no oil pressure, the oil isn't flowing into the vehicle properly, which could cause catastrophic damage to the engine. Or it could also just be that just the sensor is just bad.
All right, so our next light is the maintenance required light. This is one very common.
But not scary.
No, not scary at all. So is it best for someone to wait until this light comes on? Or is it best to not wait and follow the sticker in the windshield?
Well, usually whenever those lights come on, it goes off of driving habits. So that could mean it could go off in between like 3,000 miles, or I've seen them go as long as 7,500 miles, or even sometimes 10,000 miles. But what we always do is we always set the oil change stickers onto the windshields. Most newer vehicles are usually about a 5,000 mile interval. So if you stay within like a 5,000 to 6,000 mile interval, or if the light comes on prematurely, bring them down to your trusted service facility and let them take a look and see if your vehicle is due for an oil change. And that would be probably the best way to go about that.
In our quick lube, we don't recommend ever going over 5,000 miles just because of the damage that you could be causing to your vehicle by going further than that.
And one thing we do tend to see
Yes.
is a lot of oil consumption issues that tend to occur by waiting on some of the new vehicles, because some of them aren't ready to go off till, again, over 6,000 miles. And that can be very dangerous to the vehicle, especially if you're not checking the oil level very regularly.
All right, and our next light is
The ABS light. And most people go, what is this? Well, all it is the anti-lock braking system, okay? What that light lets you know is most likely could be something such as a bad sensor going bad, that one of the wheel speed sensors. And when it does that, in order to protect the rest of the system, the light gets triggered on there to let you know that there's something wrong with the system itself. It just needs looked at. Biggest thing is you're still going to have brakes, so don't worry, you're not going to crash. All right?
no crash, burn, and die here.
So, but still, if you see that light coming on, it is best to go and have it looked at with your trusted service facility, and then they can look into what the problem is and get the vehicle back running up to snuff there for you.
Fantastic. Next we have your battery light.
And it's not an angry robot like most people think, okay? So whenever you see this light coming on, when the light is on, it lets you know that there's something going on with the charging system of the vehicle itself. So what could be going on with that? Most likely it could be an alternator issue, okay?
So it's not necessarily the battery.
Not necessarily, but they all kind of go hand to hand with each other. So whenever you're seeing, well, when you start seeing the angry robot coming on, it's just letting you know that the battery could be low, which could be causing the alternator not to be charging properly, or it could be the alternator itself being bad and it's draining out the charging system on there, which could mean you also might see like, you know, dash lights dimming, radio's not working properly, or, you know, other components may not be working right. So whenever you're seeing this light coming on, it's best to try and find a quick place to pull off to the side of the road, because it may not get very far on the vehicle. So as far as driving, you know, where you need to.
Will we ever see this light flashing?
No, you don't ever see it flashing. It just comes on, but then you also see all the other telltale signs that come with that.
Well, everyone, that concludes the first part of our April series of our Revved Up Roundtable. We thank you for joining us, and Clint, thank you for being part of it.
I had a great time with this.
And we hope that you all have a great day, from Z to A.